far reaches of the Orion Arm, beyond the regulated borders of civilized space, lies a system so hostile, so unrelentingly brutal, that even the bravest of explorers avoid it. Officially labeled System Delta 1914, it has earned a far more terrifying nickname in interstellar circles, the Deathworld. It is a place where everything wants to kill you, and usually succeeds. Only one planet in this hellish system supports life, if you can call it that. Covered in dense jungles, steaming swamps, and jagged mountain ranges laced with volcanic activity, the planet is known to the few who've dared step foot on it as Garra V. It boasts a climate so erratic, predators so aggressive, and a biosphere so toxic that even the most rugged survival specialists from across the galaxy refuse to set up permanent colonies. Garra V makes a mockery of advanced technology. Drones malfunction, exosuits corrode, even AI-guided bots grow tired and abandon their programming in what scientists have come to describe as existential surrender. But here's the twist: something or someone survives there. Not only survives, but thrives. Enter the Deathworlders. No one knows where they came from. Human in appearance but wildly divergent in physiology and mindset, Deathworlders possess a genetic resilience that astounds xenobiologists. They live in tribes, high on the volcanic ridges or deep within the venomous jungles, wearing armor made of chitin and metal scavenged from fallen drones. Their weapons are primitive in design: spears, blades, slings, but devastatingly effective. And most importantly, they know how to live in Garra V. That's where the ultimate survival guide begins. Chapter 0 isn't written in ink. It's written in blood, sweat, and bone. This guide is not officially published. It is whispered from one outlaw to another, traded among smugglers, warlords, and foolish bounty hunters with a death wish. I didn't want to write it, but I had no choice. I crash-landed on Garra V after a freighter ambush gone wrong. And I learned the hard way. If you don't adapt, you die. The first lesson? Don't run. Ever. Everything on this planet can hear a heartbeat and see your body heat. Running just makes you look like prey. I made that mistake within minutes of exiting the wreckage of my pod. A creature. Imagine a crocodile, but twice the size, with wings and eyes that glow like dying stars, stalked me through the underbrush. I ran. I shouldn't have. Only dumb things run on Garra V. I was lucky. A Deathworlder saved me. Her name was Lyra. She appeared out of nowhere, a blur of muscles and silent fury. Her spear sunk into the beast's eye with a sickening crunch. She didn't speak my language, but she didn't need to. Her eyes said it all: follow or die. She took me in, and that's how I began to learn the rules. You sleep high always. The ground belongs to the crawlers. Things with too many legs and jaws that inject a paralytic agent that liquefies organs. Lyra built our sleeping nests high in the trees, roped together with vines that could hold a skimmer. She taught me how to smear sap from the green flare tree across my skin to mask my scent. At night, I'd lie awake listening to the shrieks and roars of monsters I never saw. Rule number 2, water is betrayal. Ponds and rivers are tempting, especially when dehydration kicks in. But Garra V's water is alive. Microscopic parasites swim in it, each one evolving rapidly to bypass the immune system of its latest victim. Lyra showed me how to find water inside the red bulb plant. It's bitter, but safe. Barely. Rule 3, respect the fungi. The Deathworlders don't just avoid mushrooms. They revere them. Fungi on Garra V are more than decomposers. They're communicators. They pulse with bioluminescent signals, warning other organisms about intruders. Step on the wrong cluster, and a pack of cliffstalkers will descend on you in minutes. Lyra taught me how to mimic their signals, how to move in silence, how to become part of the world around me. Weeks passed, then months. I was no longer just surviving, I was adapting. I learned to set traps using the glistenweb spider's silk. I learned to eat the bitterroot tubers and to cook meat over volcanic vents. I learned to kill, and I learned to respect the Deathworlders not as savages, but as the masters of a world that obeyed no other laws but its own. One day, I asked Lyra, through the few hand signs and guttural phrases I had picked up, why they stayed. Why not leave? She answered by pointing to the stars. Out there soft. Took me a while to understand. To her, the galaxy outside Garra V was weak, indulgent. Soft. Here, on this savage planet, life was pure. Simple. Brutal but honest. The Deathworlders didn't fear death. They danced with it. One day, a search and rescue crew finally found me. The Federation had picked up a distress signal from my ship and sent a retrieval team. They landed 2 kilometers from where Lyra's tribe had made their home. The Marines, dressed in full power armor and armed with pulse rifles, acted like they owned the place. Arrogant, confident, unprepared. Lyra warned me, "They bring heat. Screams follow." I begged them to leave or at least take precautions. They laughed. 30 minutes later, the forest came alive. Winged shadows tore through their perimeter. Gas bombs hissed from the trees. Something that looked like a hybrid between a wolf and a praying mantis sliced through armor like it was made of paper. I watched the squad get torn apart, one by one. Only one Marine survived. I pulled him to safety, dragged him through 2 kilometers of hell, and made it to the extraction shuttle. As the engines roared to life, I turned to see Lyra watching from the treetops. We locked eyes. I didn't wave. I knew I'd be back. Back in Federation space, they debriefed me, quarantined me, scanned my body for parasites and neural damage. But what bothered them the most wasn't what they found in me. It was what I had become. They said I moved differently, too quiet, too efficient. I didn't blink when they showed me images of other crash survivors torn apart. I just nodded. They called it Deathworld Adaptation Syndrome. I call it survival. They tried to convince me to write a memoir, a formal guide. But they wouldn't understand the truth. So instead, I wrote this, what I now call the ultimate survival guide. This isn't for scientists or soldiers. This is for the ones who have to go. For the smugglers chasing impossible bounties. For the scientists lured by untapped genetic miracles. For the desperate, the damned, the doomed. Here's what you need to know. Distilled from my time among the Deathworlders. Don't trust anything that looks beautiful. The most vibrant flowers are the most toxic. The most serene lakes are the most deadly. Beauty on Garra V is a lie. Fire attracts predators. So does blood. Move at dawn and dusk, never at night. Never at high noon. The thermal blooms drive everything mad. Learn the calls of the night birds. They warn you before danger strikes. If they go silent, you're already being hunted. Weapons degrade quickly. Learn to fight dirty. Use environment. Use gravity. Use venom. And above all, if you see a Deathworlder, don't fight. Don't run. Show your hands. Offer food, not gifts. Gifts are seen as manipulation. Food is survival. That earns respect. Garra V isn't a place you conquer. It's a place you earn. I went back eventually, not because I had to, but because no other place made sense. The Deathworld had become home. The silence of the trees, the tension in the air, the ever-present threat of death. It focused the mind, the body, the soul. The Deathworlders accepted me back. Not as one of them, but as something else. A bridge, maybe. A storyteller. A fool who survived long enough to learn the truth. Civilization may never colonize Garra V. It doesn't want to be tamed. And maybe it shouldn't. Maybe it's there to remind the universe that comfort breeds weakness. That life, in its purest form, is struggle. If you ever find yourself on Garra V, remember this: you are not the top of the food chain. You are not in control. You are not safe. But if you listen, learn, and let go of everything you thought you knew, you might just live long enough to write your own chapter in the ultimate survival guide. Or you won't, because on a death world, survival isn't a right. It's a privilege, one you have to earn every single day.